so unnecessary. I know what he's thinking. He thinks that Bradley's wasting time. You cannot
exactly.
It's a red card, by the way. He should have. It's 2 yellows. He throws the ball at him, and then he tries to manhandle him off the pitch. The boy's.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Discuss on the Pitch. Today we are driving, or whatever, straight into the facts. We are going to be talking about the fallout from yesterday's massive clash at the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal versus Liverpool. That match was actually built to be a title contender, but unfortunately it ended in a stalemate, and also as everyone talking, for all the wrong reasons. And now we have got, Jason Conde going off a major controversy involving Gabriel Martinelli, and some serious worrying start for Victor Gyökeres. So let us dive into it. So the very first video we're going to be looking at, of course, just like I've mentioned, is Jason Conde. Jason Conde, I think in the last couple of days has been, should I say, been a little bit fair on Arsenal. But first, let me play this video, then we go straight into the facts.
I was looking forward to that game tonight, but it was a bit of a letdown, wasn't it? The overall contest.
Yeah, from a neutral. Well, I'm a neutral, and obviously you've got vested interest in Liverpool. But do you know what? There are parts about the Arsenal performance where I go, do you know what? They've been accused and told for the last 2 or 3 years they're bottle jobs. They don't let go. Sometimes if you can't win a game, don't lose it. And there was definitely an element from Arteta where he's sitting there saying, right, I need to show little, because I felt Liverpool might nick it. That's how it felt to me, that Arsenal weren't quite on at it. They've been off it of late. Still got a nice lead at the top of the table. I don't mind those tactics. And anyone that says it's boring and sitting in, it's how you win a title sometimes. You can't be open, expensive football every single game. There's many different ways to win a league. And Arsenal showed tonight, they're not on top form, but they got a point. It's not a bad point, that, especially the fact that City have been dropping points, 3 draws in the last 3 games. Yeah. Had City been closer, I think Arteta would have approached that second half in a different way. Anyway, how are
you? So I personally think he's right with everything he has said. And, why I agree with him is, first things first, as at yesterday, Arsenal were 5 points ahead of the table. It could have been 8 points. But of course, Arsenal dropped 2 points. And that is the reason why we are having this conversation in this direction. But what are the takeaways from yesterday? Just as we know, now Arsenal has 6 points ahead of the table. The mentality of winning that they have lacked in a very long time, I think, is there now. And that is what Jason Conde is actually talking about. And that is why I said Jason Conde in the last couple of days, I think, is repositioning himself to actually now say things in positivity, in good light about Arsenal. And please, if you are watching this video up to this moment, remember to drop your comment, remember to subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of people watching my video that are not subscribed to my channel. It's not helping me in any way. It's honestly not allowing me grow as well. So please do that for me. So back to the video, I think Jason Conde has some amazing points. I think apart from the fact that the match was boring yesterday, we had a lot of beautiful things in that match. To be honest, we had a lot of amazing things that happened in that match yesterday.
Very good. I thought you analysed that really well.
Of course.
Yeah, I thought for the first 20 minutes, I thought Liverpool were on the floor and Arsenal never finished them off.
Yes.
Liverpool sat back.
Yes, I agree with that. Arsenal had all of the chances in the first half. Arsenal could have taken that game to bed in the first half, because on my other channel, I talked about this extensively. I talked about the possibility of Arsenal, to have won that game when in the first 20 minutes yesterday, they had everything. They had the possession, they had the everything, they had everything to win the match, but it just did not work out. For some reasons, they played the first half goalless and they came back in the second half, and I knew immediately that Liverpool were going to up their game. I knew immediately Liverpool were going to up their game, and that's exactly what happened. Because if you honestly look at what happened towards the end of the first half, I think it was between David Raya and Gabriel Martinelli, where they almost, caused the havoc at the back. Things like that would have really, really changed the game very quickly. And that was the moment Liverpool knew they can actually get something out of that game.
Everyone behind the ball were really passive in the last third, and Arsenal were about to get through them, but Arsenal's front players have not cut through and finished them off. And then Liverpool, second half, sort of come out a bit more and got the ball out to Frimpong, who played really well, I thought, Frimpong.
Yeah, do you know what?
Considering he's not an out-and-out winger.
He just needs to sort out that final bit of quality, doesn't
he? Yeah.
Final pass, selection of pass, wait across, wait a pass, that sort of thing. But he was a problem. Miles Lewis-Skelly, by the way, he had a terrible time when he came on.
But you know that what you just said?
Yeah, and talking about Miles Lewis Kelly, what Arsenal fans, I need your opinion. I want to hear from you. Do you think Miles Lewis Kelly, because you see the difference between Calafiori and Capie and Miles Lewis Kelly is honestly like day and night. Right now, Calafiori is the top, and Capie is next, and Lewis Kelly is a shadow of himself. Lewis Kelly looks like he's scared. It looks like he's confused. It looks like he's unsure. I don't even know what is wrong with the youngster. Because immediately he came yesterday, Liverpool had the opportunity to actually take the game. I understand the reason why Mikel Arteta brought him in, by the way. I think Mikel Arteta was actually trying to, overload their defense. He was trying to make him come in as an inverted fullback and, whatever. But it just did not work yesterday. And that is exactly what, this man is saying here right now, that when Lewis Kelly came in, a lot changed.
I think that's said every year on, year out, say it about wingers. But people like Thierry Henry and Perez, they get it right.
Yeah.
They get it right. You never say...
about World Cup winners there.
Well, that's the difference, though. That's what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
That is the difference between world-class players getting the decision-making. Is it a dink to the back post? They pick people out in the box and get it right.
Yeah.
You find the ones who are just below that, they get it wrong. But Liverpool second half, although they had more of the ball, do you know that is the first time in 16 years Liverpool haven't had a shot on target?
Well, okay.
That's about right.
Oh,
That was about. I mean, the first time in 16 years, I think since 2010. Yes, I heard I heard the stat yesterday myself, and I was blown away. Like I was blown away. Like, is this true? I mean, how could Liverpool not even manage a shot on target yesterday against Arsenal? It was quite surprising, It was actually quite surprising, but that is the fact. That is what really happened yesterday.
When you were playing, Dino.
16 years.
You played in that game.
2010. No, I was before that.
2010, man.
But
That's a long
I think
time
it's a
ago.
good point for Liverpool. I think Arsenal, like you said, Arteta's got, like Liverpool are just dropping back into what they call a low block now. They're all behind the ball. And they're going to nick the game on us. So he said,
Exactly.
well, what we'll do then, we'll sit in a low
They do
block.
it well, Arsenal. They do
and
it well.
We'll nick it on you.
Yeah, they're well coached
okay.
like that, Arsenal.
3 corners they had all game, which is a bit of a... Well done to Liverpool, because they've obviously don't give them any corners, try not to give any free kicks away. And then we had a bit of bad taste at the end, didn't we?
What did you make of that unsavoury moment? Honestly, right?
So before I get to what we want to talk about now, I think they want to now talk about the Martinelli incident. It is very important I say something, It is very, very important I say something, because for me, I honestly think that, the Martinelli incident, I think it's been overjudged. And why I say it's been overjudged is that although the news coming out today is that Bradley might actually have ACL injury, he left the stadium on crutches, and Martinelli has since posted an apology on Instagram saying he didn't realize how bad the injury was, in the heat of the moment. But, why I say maybe this might be overstretched is because a match of that nature yesterday, we have seen situations where players go to the ground, fall to the ground, and nothing is actually wrong with them. See, I'm not absolving Martinelli for, the rubbish he did yesterday, but what I am simply saying is that Martinelli would not have known that was a serious injury, or maybe did not pay enough attention to know that that was a serious injury, right? So it happened like that yesterday. He finally figured out, because even before I play it, or anyways, let me play the video, then we can come back to it.
I thought it was a disgrace for Martinelli. Honestly, that is so unnecessary. I know what he's thinking. He thinks that Bradley's wasting time. You cannot...
Exactly.
It's a red card, by the way. He should have... It's 2 yellows. He throws the ball at him, and then he tries to manhandle him off the pitch. The boy's...
See, I will not support Jesse Conde in this. I will not support Jesse Conde in this, because Martinelli would not have known it was quite a serious injury. Yesterday, it was looking like, Liverpool needed a draw. Or maybe Liverpool needed whatever point out of that match. So Arsenal, at a point in time, had the intensity, wanted to go for it. Bradley, fell to the ground. It was as if he was wasting time. This is standard practice in football. People do this every now and then. And so I think that was what informed Martinelli's decision to want to actually make him stand up, throw the ball at him. Although, yes, I understand it is childish, it is non-professional, but it was in the heat of the moment, right? It wasn't. Anybody could have done that. Anybody could have honestly done that.
Career could be in the balance. Absolutely disgusting. Disgusting from Martin. Classless. right? Absolute class. And the Liverpool players, I saw Canate get involved. Honestly, if I was a Liverpool fan there, I would be absolutely raging. I was amazed that Liverpool players didn't get more involved. But I hope and pray that Bradley's.
They didn't. Just saying, they didn't get more involved simply because of the fact that nobody knew what was happening. As a matter of fact, a lot of people even thought that they might have thought that Bradley was actually just playing to the gallery. In that same match yesterday, we saw a situation where who was it fell down in the Arsenal box. Although that could have been a 50-50 anyways, because that could have gone Liverpool's way. Fell down in the Arsenal box where Gabriel had to go and make him stand up. Because Gabriel believed he actually dived. So things like this happen in football, right? And even the Liverpool players were actually just looking at, okay, what is really, really happening, right? So I understand the criticism around Martinelli. I understand. I appreciate the fact that he has actually posted an apology on social media. He has posted an apology on social media saying he, did not realize the intensity or the significance of what really happened yesterday.
It's not as serious as it might be, but for Martinelli there, mate, utterly classless.
I'm not a surgeon or a doctor, but it looked to me as if his knee wobbled. His knees wobbled.
Hands off him.
And,
he's injured. He's down in pain. No, this is the problem. Martinelli has judged Bradley by his own low standards because that's the sort of thing he would do.
No, that is wrong. That is wrong. That match yesterday had a lot of incidents like that. Connie Bradley picked up injury, unlucky for him. But that match had situations like that yesterday. We saw players throwing themselves to the floor. We even saw Bukayo Saka throw himself to the floor. So this is football. So if it doesn't go that route yesterday of the fact that it's actually a time-wasting tactics, or a player trying to get the other player booked, or perhaps a player trying to, what do I say now, maybe get a penalty or whatsoever, it is unfortunate. But, saying that Martinelli would do that, all of them would do it because Liverpool players did the same thing here. The Liverpool players did the same things yesterday. They did just exactly the same things yesterday. So not to waste too much time here, we have to go to the issue of Zubimendi, right? We have to go and look at the issue of, we have to look at the issue of Victor Gyökeres. So it is actually time to talk about the big man up top because, Victor Gyökeres, Arsenal spent over £60 million to bring him in from Sporting to actually be the missing piece. But looking at, the stats and everything, 8 touches yesterday. He had 8 touches yesterday, 1 touch in the second half before he was substituted, of course, and a lot of pundits are split on this. So I'm going to actually be playing, this video from Sky Sports. And in this video, they compared him to Haaland, and we are actually going to, see what is happening.
Is that his job is to pin the centre-halves back. As Gary, you've worked with me, and I've been told, Daniel, stop dropping deep to get touches, stay up top and occupy the centre-halves, make your runs, occupy them, give us more room. But I think doing that, you get less touches because if your team's a ball-dominant team that aren't penetrating centrally, Arsenal's game is get it wide and get crosses in the box. So it's about his movement and saying, okay, I'm going to go near post, I'm going to go far post, this and that. But because they're facing low blocks, there's a bank of maybe 4 or 5 defenders. So it is sort of difficult for him. Maybe he needs to say, I'm going to go across the front post. Maybe I'm going to pull out and give them an option for a cutback. But again, you've got Rice making runs. You've got Marino making runs. You've got all these players. So it's going to be difficult for him.
Just good movement.
It is good movement, Roy. But I also feel like the way the team plays, they have goal scorers everywhere, but they have also goal scoring wingers. And it's very difficult when you're the focal point, but you're not the first option. I don't look at him being the first option in the team. We're looking for you at every action. Harry Kane, when you see him, he's the first option. There's a lot of players.
So a very, very quick one. Let me show you one image I saw on Twitter to back this up, right? So once you see what is going on here now, look at this. This is Zubimendi with the ball. I'm trying to back up what Sturridge said in the studio. This is Zubimendi with the ball, right? Ordinarily, Zubimendi here has every right to play a true pass to Gyökeres. But he did not play that true pass to Gyökeres. I think he played it to someone else entirely. These are the kind of runs, because Gyökeres is actually making those runs. But of course, maybe, just maybe, they are not actually playing for him. And also, I understand what he's saying. That is Sturridge now, that Gyökeres actually, because of the fact that a lot of teams play low block with us now, a lot of teams try to restrict Arsenal from doing a lot of, move the ball forward. Arsenal has wingers that can score goals. Arsenal has a lot of players that can score goals. Declan Rice can score goals. Zubimendi can score goals. We have a lot of players that can score goals. It's making it difficult for Gyökeres because all of them are runners. Merino is a runner. All of these guys run into the box trying to overload defenses. So, but when you look at the situation of Manchester City, what they do is the midfield absorb the pressure, collect the ball, look up front, to Alan, feed him the ball, try to make him score. So the situations are quite different, and the situations are things that you need to understand before you are able to make, adequate judgment of what exactly is going on. So let me go back to the video, right? Let me go back to the video, and we continue from there.
Who are the first option. I don't think Gyökeres is the first option.
I know what Daniel means, because when Arsenal get it in wide areas, they do play that extra pass. They don't tend to put it into the box at a point whereby it's predictable for the man in the middle to know when to make the run. So I get that a little bit. If you think about sometimes Mo Salah cuts on his left foot, or Mahrez when he was at City, they're going to drift that ball in. You can make a run off the back of knowing it's coming. There is a bit with Arsenal whereby on the sides, Saka might play a little ball into Timber, then it'll come back, and then it'll go back and they'll recycle it, and he might have made 2 or 3 little runs. So maybe there's a bit of that, but when the ball does fly across that box, I just don't sometimes see
the striker then adapting to his teammates, not the other way around. Do you know what I mean?
It is. I think you do have to adapt as a forward, and you've got to be ready to do that. But I don't know if we can judge Gyökeres on goals this year. I'm just being transparent. I think.
Honestly,
Danny, on that performance tonight, then, if he's had 7 touches in the game and he's occupied centre halves a little bit, do you think he's played it the best part of an hour? I think. What do you think the reflection would be from his coach on what he added to the game this evening?
I think the coach would say you did what we wanted you to do.
Exactly.
I think. Look, if you look at Manchester City, and I'm not comparing Gyökeres to Haaland. How many times have we talked about Haaland not touching the ball often? He's only touched it 4 times this half, 6, 7, 8 times. I think just the way Arsenal play and the way Gyökeres plays, it's not a perfect match. But I think he's a very good centre forward who's won the Golden Shoe. He scored 67
I don't mind strikers who don't do much, but when it comes into the box, they're sharp and they're alive to it. He's in the box the way he's outside the box. He just looks a bit sluggish, and lacks seeing that real quality, maybe confidence as well.
I'm interested to see what Daniel. Look, I'd be interested to know what Mikel Arteta is actually thinking and saying to Gyökeres in respect to his performance tonight, because I think I agree with Roy in the sense that I'm actually not bothered about what he does outside the box, but I was actually quite excited about Arsenal having a sort of focal point centre forward, because I think that's what they miss. But I would have expected when that ball flies across that box, I'd just see him sort of like charging in and sliding and just sort of getting on the end of it. But then he sometimes doesn't quite make that real definite run.
You know what I'll say?
You see, this is the problem. Gary Neville says he's not making the runs. He has made the runs a lot of times. I think the system had to adjust to him or whatsoever. The thing is, see, Gyökeres situation is quite dicey, right? We have seen matches where Gyökeres, hold defenders, pull defenders for the wingers to be able to do important things. Moving, be able to score goals, improve the team. So it does a lot more than scoring goals. But in situations like this, just like the picture, I tried to show you here, you would see that Victor Gyökeres was actually not given the pass. These are the kind of passes that he likes. These are the kind of running from behind that he likes. But it wasn't fed here. He wasn't given the adequate pass that he needs to be able to do the things that he knows how to do best. And Arsenal is not a football club that plays a lot of, overheading balls. Because Arsenal like tappings from the side, they'd like to cut in. Wingers want to score goals as well. So these are the things that needs to be understood. And I honestly like what Sturridge said, that will be very difficult to judge Victor Gyökeres based on the number of goals he has scored. This is because that would be a very, very unfair judgment on him.
Showed, right? Where we showed the Trossard and we showed the Saka actions. They were all cutbacks. They're not crosses where you're looking and going, where are you? Now, the one at the end, you would say, if Gyökeres is on the pitch, maybe he's in that area, which is the corridor of uncertainty. That's
Rice
the favourite.
Put a great one in the first half. Was that Rice? Was it Rice put a great one in the first half again? Yeah. But we're sitting there going, where's your striker?
Yeah, where's the striker?
Yeah, the one the left foot
for me, with strikers and with midfielders and wingers, the key is understanding your teammates and knowing timing. That's the best thing, I'm sure, for you and for you during your careers. Your strikers and your...
This episode is actually one of my most favorite episodes of this punditry that they do. Because they were being honest, they were actually being very factual. Sturridge on this particular day was on sports. He said a lot of right things the right way. He should say it. And he has proven that he really, really understands what is going on with the Victor Gyökeres situation.
Wingers will talk to you, go, listen, I want it here. When that happens, I'm going to make that run. Those are the conversations you have to have. If you don't have those, you're not going to get chances. It's just not going to happen.
With or without a goal tonight, they've gone 6 points clear. But it's not just the Premier League, of course, that Arsenal have got their minds on.
So guys, this is very, very important. This, is or are the things that are important that we really, really need to talk about, right? We really need to have a conversation around this. So this is a wrap for today. It is a point again for us now, but at what cost to their reputation after that Martinelli incident? Although Martinelli has apologized, to be honest, and is it time to actually to worry about Victor Gyökeres? Drop a comment. I want to hear from you, Arsenal and Liverpool fans, on this one. Also, do not forget to hit the subscribe button on the Stars on the Pitch. I will see you in the next one. Thank you, guys.